Welcome to my cake kitchen. I am Gladys. If you see me for the first time, hello there. I love cake, and over here we make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating. I'm supposed to do a live on a Tuesday. It's not possible to bring you a live today, so this is pre-recorded, and hopefully it should give you the experience of a live feel. So if you are looking for a snap video that cuts to the information, this might just not be for you, because on our lives we do catch up a lot, and whilst I'm hoping that we are not banging on too much, this is going to be a realistic video of a baking process. I'm making a vanilla cake, my adapted vanilla cake that I use for business, and actually I am baking for customers today. It's a customer Harry Potter themed cake. By the time we get to the end of this session, I'll find a video and then post it, or I will post progress shots in the community post, so do check that out. So yeah, I could talk you through everything you need for a vanilla cake, but that's something I have done time and again. So let's consider this video a cake and chat, where if you've been wondering where I've been, I haven't been anywhere. This is proof of life, people. I'm alive, I'm okay, I am keeping well. I just needed a bit of rest, and then after taking the rest, as you can see, the kitchen setup has changed slightly. That is because I decided to delve into some DIY kitchen cleaning and all sorts to make the kitchen functional, because it's the place I spend most of my time. I am hoping this video doesn't have a lot of editing. I'm just going to record it, take it, and then send it your way. So hopefully you'll enjoy it, and you will know that there's not much trickery here. I am just one exhausted baker, but because there is a cake going out over the weekend for a customer, it's a cake I really love, and this is my type of customers. The sort of customer who emails you, sends you your money, and then just leaves you be, and then on the day they come and collect their cake. Yep, that one. So I have a Harry Potter themed cake, and the start of the cake is obviously to bake, hence a vanilla themed cake. It's going to be a 10 by 8 sheet sort of cake. So I am using a square 10-inch tin. It's, if you think about the book, it's going to be 10 inches by, is it height or length this way, and then width will be about 8 inches. But this is a 10 by 10 pan, and so I am going to cut about 2 inches off so that I can get the shape of the book. It's going to be a closed book cake. And yeah, what I cut off, I might just package it as extra for the customer if they like it. But yes, that's what I am doing. So for convenience, I'm using a stand mixer. For quantity, you probably will require a stand mixer, because this is a quantity and a half of my vanilla cake recipe. I'll put some information in the description box when I come to optimizing it. So I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to jump right into it. A few things I have done, because this is an adaptable recipe. I have baking spread with butter. That is because I'm looking to optimize the flavor of butter, which will add depth, but it should also affect sort of crumb in a way, because butter sets hard, but because we have baking spread, it should be all right. That said, I don't know what the consistency is at this moment in time, because there's a difference in consistency of butter and baking spread. I'm going to pop that in the microwave slightly for about 40 seconds. I'm not like, let's go. I'll be careful not. How many times have I told you, when you put your butter, do not be distracted? Well, we have melted butter over here. But we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. Okay, we're gonna make it work. Like, it's a mess. Look, it's broken. Truth be told, I don't have any extra. If anything, I have to swap this for butter, but I'm not gonna do that. So we're going to make it work, okay? The struggle to get you this video is very real, but you know what? I am not giving up. Let's go. Whoo! How did we get here? Well, I am not going to edit this part out. I'm not. You will see. Okay, now I feel like I should have been on a live so that you would have seen what is really happening. Did I promise you I'm bringing you a realistic representation of the baking process? Yes. And if you've noticed, tell me something I am missing here that you can't see. I am definitely missing something, but we'll see. So we're going to cream this for up to 10 minutes because we need to let it go for up to 10 minutes. Maybe 6 to 10, depending, because the butter is already melted. So we'll see. Let's go. The butter and sugar has been creaming for 3 minutes. I have a timer on my side here. This is the consistency we have, which is great. Now, I've spoken about how adaptable this recipe is in so many ways, in that you can make small, slight changes for the same recipe, turn it into cupcakes, whole cakes, and all sorts. For this layer cake, sort of, I need it to, how do I describe it? I need the texture to have a melt in the mouth feel. So perhaps I'm not trying to justify my melting, okay? My melted butter is melted. It's fine. It will work because you're going to see the results anyway when we are done. So believe me when I say, look, I can do things properly. But today, I am fighting against myself to be here. Not because I hate it, but simply because I'm in a headspace where the filming, the editing is like meh. And some days you don't have to feel it to do it. You just have to do it. But when you're not feeling up to it, there's also so many things that can rise up against you. Okay? Like I said, is there something on this table or it's required in this recipe that you know that it's missing? Leave it in the comment section for me, and then perhaps in the next session we'll discuss what is really going on here, because if you can see, I am not with it. Okay. These people telling you motivation motivation and shit. Okay, let's get to it. Another 3 minutes and we're done. Okay. A total of 3 minutes 50 seconds. This is wild. A total of 6 minutes 50 seconds later, here's what we have. Our butter is whipped up right exactly how I wanted it. If I hadn't melted my butter, it probably would have had to go all the way to 8. But when we talk about the consistency and texture and appearance, this is what we're looking at. It is very soft. The weather today is good. As the summer is coming, you realize that your butter is going to be softer than you wanted, and suddenly bakers are not happy. The sun is not a baker's friend, okay? The sun isn't, but we're here. Now I'm going to add the eggs into it. I'm going to add the eggs in a slightly different way that will improve the crumb for me. I'm starting with some egg yolks. So slowly I'm going to add a couple of egg yolks. There's really no math to this. I've tried it on live sessions and I've tried it in long form. So I'll link some of the resources here. But for what we have here, the egg yolks by intention is to just enhance emulsification and increase the quality of your crumb, if you like. So I'm just going to add, that's yolk 2. This is yolk 3 in there. And then yolk 4, and that's all I need. So that will start mixing, and then I am going to beat the rest of the eggs up and then add that slowly. You want to slow the mixer down a little bit whilst the eggs are adding. Now I'm going to stop that and get everything mixing. Whilst we're at it, a good time to remind you, my oven has been preheating since I started. So yeah, for the last, let's say, 10 to 12 minutes, the oven has been preheating. So don't forget to preheat your oven. Does this tell you like there's an unorganized baker out here on the loose, right? So let's make it work, okay? Today is not a perfect day, and today is the day I am actually getting on with the task rather than focusing on the perfection of it, if you like. So don't let perfection get in the way of a good thing. So the experience here today is a realistic representation of how all the days are not equal, even in a baking kitchen and in the spirit of content creation. But we aspire nonetheless to bring you the task. All right? Right, let's go. Okay, the eggs are mixed in now. It's time to add flour. We'll add, this is self-raising flour with a pinch of salt in it. And then whilst that goes in, we're going to add our buttermilk. Okay, the final bits of the flour is added here. Just going to manually try and help it along quickly. The mixer is on fold function, so it should help kind of mix things together without over mixing the batter for me and thereby toughening the gluten in there. Okay. Okay, now that our batter is done, we're going to transfer it into our 10-inch pan. I don't think I'll need all of it, but I just made sure to make enough because I don't want the batter to overflow the lip of the pan, but I also do not want to have to slice this layer into two. It's just going to be 2 layers of cake that are baked separately. When you're baking larger cakes, it can be a little bit tricky, especially if you bake them deep. I used to have to fill this pan up just so that I could level the cake out and slice it, but I just felt like it took longer to bake, so I am leveling the cake out so that it bakes evenly. I still have like a little bit of butter left here, which means for my next batch, which is the other layer of cake, I would just make a quantity instead of a quantity and a half, because this is about a quantity and a quarter, and the quarter that is left here will go into the other one. Let's go and bake this for this amount, an hour and 15 minutes if you like, and then we'll be back and we'll see. Okay, an hour and 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and check. But for those of you who are wondering where I've been, thank you. All the messages of support, love, seeking my attention and expressing care. I am all right. Here's all that happened. Before Easter, I was a little bit tired, so I knew I wanted to have a break. But then I get into this headspace where it can be awfully difficult to kind of announce, oh, I'm going away for a break. It can be it can seem like grandstanding if you like. So I thought, let me just go rest up and see how I feel about it. And then the Easter break happened. My son was home, and just managing, the space and everything else, I just thought, let me just pick one thing I could focus on, and which was to go and commit to my life outside of cakes, being a mom, and amongst other things. And then I got stuck in this headspace where everything felt like a drag. I'm being honest. It was, you wake up, like I wasn't sick or poorly or anything. I wouldn't even put that on me. And it wasn't that. But now and again, we all have those moments where routine becomes boring and you don't feel motivated. I almost hesitate to use the word motivated, because what is even motivation, But it was like routine got boring, and suddenly everything felt so dreadful, and my even happy routines felt like a drag. So to cheer myself up, I thought, let me just clean. Let me just clean. Something, some feels something on the inside, you know. So I came to the kitchen. It is actually one of the places I spend most of my time. If you look back at the content we have here, I make a lot of baking content, and I'm always in the kitchen, especially for the lives. So, and I've always talked about how my kitchen is small. I don't think that anymore. I don't want to make promises. I might just in the next videos or something show you what the kitchen is like. Don't hold me to it. I'm kind of tinkering about it. But the space in my kitchen for what I do, the kitchen is awfully inadequate, if you like. But once I got stuck in the headspace of I need to clean my kitchen, I realized it was a case of practical, efficient, and a functional space that I didn't have. I said the kitchen is a small kitchen. What does a small kitchen mean? If I was just using my kitchen for home cooking and just household stuff, it wouldn't seem so small. But because I bake such an awful lot, yeah, it seemed like a lot of space was needed. But then once I started to clean the place up, I realized that it was more about how the kitchen wasn't targeted towards my everyday tasks of baking. So then it started with that one small task. In the corner here, there used to be a big old fridge, if you like, and then this oven was over here somewhere. I mean, you can't see it now, to be honest, but I am hoping I can get around to it, and I'll show you what it looks like from the before and after. So anyway, I just thought if I can move stuff around, then I will see what my results will be like. And guess what? The one task you start and you run prepared for, and then you keep going and going and going until you fall in a ditch. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I didn't fall in a ditch. I kept going and going until I kind of optimized the space for functionality and efficiency and storage. I am happy here. I am happy here. But there's still a lot to do, which is why I just thought, let me just stop by and say hello. So if you've been looking for me and wondering where I've been in the kitchen, I've been cleaning, and I've been tidying up. I'm kind of like in a headspace where my head feels a little less decluttered, like my kitchen is. So yeah, that's what's been up lately. In terms of content, it's, you know what, I'm still trying to get out of the pit that I've been in. So sitting down, sorting out the content and doing all of the, it's a little harder than you think, okay? And YouTube is changing a lot. But let me not make any promises. My goal though is to continue to bring you value as best as I could. And today is one way I want to honor that. So let's enjoy it. And whilst the cake is baking, let's go back and see what the result of our cake is. Our cake has finished baking, and so we are going to have a look at what, let's flip it over. Ooh. All right. Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right. I am going to try and flip it around, and then we'll have a proper look at it. There you go. That's baked fine. The lopsidedness here is because my oven is tipped backwards like that. So that's why you can see it's not completely level. So let's have a look at it's about 2 inches. So I'll be able to take a little bit of the top off and then take off the bottom. And then we have 1 inch or 1¼ inch, if you like. The other one will be the same. So I'm aiming for this to be about 2, maybe 3 inches in height, because the book is fairly small. And this should serve up to about 20 people, if you like. So yeah, I hope the tips for this cake, even though we melted our butter and had to make adjustment, sometimes just understanding the pivots you have to make through the process and also adapting easily is what will help. But there are more videos on the channel about baking and everything else you need to know. So stick around and I'll see you on the next one.